I'd come home, I was in the lounge room, and I just felt this nausea go right through me. And I thought, oh, have I eaten something? But it got worse, and I thought, no, I better ring the ambulance.
50,000 Australians will have a stroke each year, of which 2 out of 3 remain dependent on others to do the activities that they enjoy. Our goal is to help as many people remain independent after their stroke.
And I managed to get up and walk to the front door, and I opened the front door, and the ambo was there, and then this leg just collapsed on me. He caught me on the way down.
But when you have a stroke event that restricts blood flow and causes brain damage through a clot or a bleed, people can be left with a variety of problems depending on where the stroke happens. So it can affect their walking, their talking, their mood.
Getting to the mailbox was the big one. I had to use the walker. Like, to the mailbox was about 20-25 metres.
It's a big impact on someone to have a stroke and maybe not be able to drive again, walk again. So there is that normal emotional response to that loss of independence and former self. Sometimes it's a combination of the two. You can have changes in the brain because of the stroke, and you can have that awareness and sense of loss.
I haven't been able to cry all my life, you know, it's just sort of big boys don't cry, but now it doesn't take much. It triggers it.
So the motivation is in part about providing people with more opportunity to engage in activities that will help their recovery, but we also know that that combination of activities after stroke has the possibility of promoting brain plasticity. And brain plasticity is important for stroke recovery or recovery from any brain injury because it refers to the ability of the brain to rewire, remould. So they come and they do half an hour of exercise, then they have a break and a morning tea and socialise with other people with stroke. And then they will go off into a room where they do movement to music or dance or visual arts.
I went there first because I was just curious, you know, how do you dance when you're sitting down? You don't be misled. There's an awful lot of science goes into all the moves. Every part of your upper body was catered for. Finger, you know, which I needed. You get in with these people and they constantly encouraging you. At the same time they work you and they work you hard. You don't get out of anything. But yeah, that was immense value to me.
So physically we see that people get stronger and fitter and more confident in their walking. Their balance improves, we know that.
I can take the garbage tin out without any support, bring it back in through the house. That necessitates going over thresholds out to the backyard and wash it, which means I can bend over to run the hose, and that mightn't sound much, but balance-wise that was a huge improvement.
It's through the peer support that I think people learn about how to recover because they share tips and strategies on how to access different things and share their journey and most importantly, people don't feel alone.
I'm more empathetic. Seeing so many other people going through it, it's been a very necessary change in my attitudes.
Is to help them realise that they can do things again. It might look a little bit different, but they're still the same person inside. They may have just had a stroke, and so it helps them in terms of their acceptance around that, helps them regain their confidence again, and ultimately we need that in order to try and be more independent. So going down to your local cafe, meeting up with the people you knew after stroke, seems quite easy to us who may not have had a stroke, but that's a very big activity for someone who has had a stroke.
It sort of gets me out of the house, you know, it just lightens the mood.
We're extremely grateful to everyone or anyone that can sponsor this program and give generously to support and make sure that people who have a stroke now and into the future, which may even be people from their family and in their friend circle, so that they can make the best recovery after such a significant life-changing event.
If I ever win that lottery, there'll be $1 million going in there that fast. The esteem program is something else. Should be supported at all costs.